5.5 minutes remaining. It's Martin that leads. We've got a Prima Pramac Racing 1-2. Silverstone Poleman Zarco second, with Jack Miller locking out of the Ducati top three in third place. And Jorge Martin is picking up the pace. Papa Martin there on your screens, he loves it. Martin then finds the first sub 130 lap around this revised Red Bull Ring layout. That's immediately better though. It's 1:29.861, beaten by just over 200 of a second by Jack Miller. Now Zarco, you can just barely pause for breath, can you, as Miller, Martin and Zarco exchange places at the top of the leaderboard. It's now advantage Zarco with the 1:29.837. And now, Pecco Bagnaia, as Simon quite rightly points out on our screens, we could have a Ducati lockout very shortly of the top four, as Bagnaia sweeps over the crest out of turn number 8, all neat and tidy, as it so often is for the Italian. Down the hill then into this tricky braking zone. He's got that hard front tyre on. You can see that with that distinctive yellow band on that Michelin slick tyre. The Ducatis have enjoyed that last corner here in Austria on many occasions, haven't they? Particularly with Andrea Dovizioso. Over the line, Bagnaia comes, and we do have a Ducati top. Hang on a second, we've got a Ducati top 6. We said how much Ducati loved Austria. Yellow flags back out in sector 1. Zarco, Bastianini, Miller, Martin, Bagnaia and Bezzecchi means we have a Ducati lockout of the top 6 into the business end of this second practice session. Maverick Vinales is 7th. Aleix Espargaro is 8th. Italian motorcycles right now are locking out the top 8 places here. Ralph Fernandez was the late faller in this session. He's gone down going into that new chicane then at 2A. But for Fernandez, top Yamaha motorcycle at the moment here in Austria is in the more than capable hands of the world champ Quartararo, but he's down in 8th place with a 1:30.285.
Matt, I think you're seeing the first signs of an extra braking and accelerating point on the track, and that's what the Ducatis do so well. Yeah,
Pecco Bagnaia, Jack Miller, they all mentioned it, didn't they? They were saying, well, yeah, it's just one more braking point. The Ducati's got great braking stability, one more acceleration point, nothing gets off the turn better than the Ducati. We just saw there Oliveira. Thankfully, he's back to the Red Bull KTM factory racing garage looking relatively unscathed after his crash at turn 9 just a few moments ago. Now then, Zarco leads the way with a 1:29.837. Maverick Vinales has started to pick a fight with the Ducatis. He gets himself up into 6th place with a 1:30.190. Luca Marini is in 10th spot. So Bastianini actually has gone down to 16th, so his lap was obviously cancelled. I don't know if that was for the yellow flag, maybe for Fernandez or for Oliveira, where there's an exceeding of track limits, but that's kind of broken up the Ducati party at the top of the timesheets. Vinales at the moment then on course. His best lap of the session, a 1:31.74. And who did we say a few moments ago, Simon? Rain spots falling in Austria with slicks. Brad Binder, let's see what he can do. He's just set the fastest first sector of the session. This would be some performance by Binder. He's down in 12th place, kicking himself, wasn't he, the South African, for his choice of that medium rear tyre in Silverstone when the temperature came up big time on race day. The hard was clearly the best race pick over those 18 long laps at the British Grand Prix.
Both he and Fabio kicking themselves, yep.
Absolutely. Now then, we pick up Luca Marini, the number 10. He starts powering towards turn number 10, the final corner. All looking good. You can see there on the back of his factory Ducati as well, the Stegosaurus aero wings on the seat unit have moved their way now over into Muni VR46 as well. Marini has the wings on the back of his Ducati. You can just see them there. There is Binder. He fires himself up into 6th place, but Fabio Quartararo, the world champion, is coming. There you can see at the bottom of your screens with a brand new soft rear tyre. This is brilliant by Quartararo. He's about to gate crash the Ducati party here in Austria and some. Quartararo then drops down the hill into turn 9. He's got Maverick Vinales ahead of him. Here comes Vinales and his former Yamaha teammate out of the final corner. Over the line, Vinales comes 7th. That should be good enough for a top 10 for him, but here comes Fabio Quartararo. Bit of a shake of the head as he comes out the final corner. He goes into 4th place. Surely that'll be good enough for a provisional spot in Q2 tomorrow. 4th for Quartararo with a 1:29.877. What a final 10 minutes this has been here in Austria in this FP2 session, with that rain starting to fall just at the moment where all the riders are about to head out on circuit on soft rubber. They went into time attack mode. Thankfully, there were obviously just a few rain spots falling because there's been no rain disruption in this session. Aleix Espargaro then at the moment right on the cusp. He's 10th with a 1:30.147. Here's Joan Mir, 1:30.055's got him up to 7th place. He was talking to the media yesterday. Surprise, surprise, he was bombarded with questions again about where he'll be in 2023. This long delay has been since Suzuki announced their withdrawal after the Spanish Grand Prix in Red. He's been perennially linked, hasn't he, with a ride with Marc Marquez and Repsol Honda next year. He said yesterday, a decision imminent. It sounds like they've just got to sort of finalise the last bit of paperwork, but I think he's going to be moving over with likewise Rins onto a Honda next year. So,
and a cryptic message from Livio Supo in the interview that I did this morning, saying now that things are more settled for Joan, you know, so it's, you know, he's hoping he's happier on the bike, but basically pointing out that he's done a deal with somebody.
Yeah, and it'd be great to see Joan Mir firing on all cylinders again. 5 DNFs in the last 8 races. I'm not a guy that's used to throwing the machinery, the scenery, is he? A lot, is Joan Mir. So yeah, it'll be good with a clear mind and a direction that he knows he's going in next year with Repsol Honda to see him back to his best. And Fabio Quartararo then, he is the man that somehow splits a Ducati Armada here in Austria. The checkered flag is out. Zarco, Miller and Martin look like they'll be your top 3. Then there's Quartararo. Behind him, the Ducatis of Bagnaia, Marini, Bezzecchi and Bastianini.
Matt, it's just what I was saying earlier on in this session, is that Fabio is pretty much the only one to do something special enough on the bike, you know, amazing, regularly, like every weekend, to push that bike to where it is, you know.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. Could not say any more about the performance of Quartararo right now. What a session that was. Absolutely awesome MotoGP action here in Austria. The top 10 riders from Zarco down to Brad Binder were covered by less than 0.3 of a second. Aleix Espargaro will be praying when he wakes up in his motorhome here in Austria tomorrow morning that there's a dry FP3, because he, second in the World Championship, was 11th at the end of play. What a session that was.